Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Noah from 6Flow Automations. Today I'm going to show you how to make outbound calls with your AI voice agent using Retell AI, n8n, and Google Sheets. This is going to allow you to perform batch outbound calls or singular outbound calls, whatever you want. I will also be showing you how to pass variables from your n8n workflow into your AI voice agent before the call gets triggered, allowing the agent to know who they are calling, what the company is, and much more information. If you guys enjoy content like this or want to support the channel, hit that like button, drop a sub, and let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is log into your Retell AI account and open an agent that you've already made, or go ahead and create a new one. I won't be covering how to build an outbound agent in this video, although I do have many videos on my page going through how to build certain types of agents, so you can definitely go check those out if you would like, and then come back to this video. But for this example, I have a simple outbound agent set up that pretty much just tries to sell clients what we do at 6Flow Automation, which is set up custom automations and voice agent builds for companies. So the first thing I want to show you before we hop into n8n to get started on the workflow is that my first node here, you can see I have two variable names. This is going to be the first name of the person we are calling and the company that they work at. So those are the two variables that I'm going to use for this example. Like I was saying in the introduction, passing variables from your n8n automation into the voice agent before the call gets triggered. This is going to allow the agent to know who they are calling by first name and what company they work at, to make it sound more personal when they actually call that person. So before we hop into n8n to begin building the workflow, I have this Google Sheet already set up for you guys to copy. There is just a few columns that you will need. The first one is date and time. You don't actually need to fill this one out. We will set up our n8n automation to fill this out for us. The only ones you are going to want to input are going to be the first name of the person you are calling, the company that they work at, their phone number, and their email address, which is optional. And then you want to set the lead status to not called. The reason we set the lead status to not called is because in our n8n automation, we will be using the Google Sheets trigger, and we will set up a filter that checks that the lead status is not called. The reason for this being that we do not want to call the same person more than once. So if they have already been called, we are going to switch the lead status to call to make sure that that does not trigger anymore. So go ahead and copy this Google Sheet if you haven't already done so. Once done, come back and we will move on. All right guys, as you can see, I'm in my n8n account now. I'm going to go ahead and create a new workflow. Like I said, we are going to use the Google Sheets trigger, so let's go ahead and add that now right there, and we will choose on row added, although you can choose on row added or updated if you'd like. Go ahead and connect your credentials if you haven't already done so, and then the poll time we will leave as is. Now we are just going to select the document that we just made, so that is called outbound for me, and then we will choose sheet 1, and then we will choose trigger on row added. So now our trigger is fully defined. We can exit this now. I'll give this workflow a save, and the next node that we are going to add is going to be the filter node. So let's go ahead and add that. We'll search for filter just like that. And what we are going to do is first we're going to give this Google Sheet trigger a run so that we can pull in some data. And as you can see, one item was passed through. Now if I open this filter node, you will see we have this lead status column available. We're going to drag that into value 1 under the filter node, and we will set that equal to not underscore called. And like I was saying earlier, this is just going to make sure that we don't call the same person twice when the automation gets triggered. So we will be switching this column to called after the call has been made. So now that that's set up, I'm going to give this another save, and the next node we are going to add is going to be the HTTP request node. So let's go ahead and add that. We will switch our method to post just like that, and the URL you can just copy off my screen. I will also paste it down below so you guys can copy it there. This is going to be the same for everyone as of now because Retell is currently on V2. This may be updated in the future, but for now this should work for everyone. So the authentication we can leave as none, that's not to worry. We will not send query, but we will send headers. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Using fields below is completely fine. The name that we are going to use is going to be authorization like this, and then the value. This is where you can input your API key from Retell AI. So first you can type bearer if you'd like. Let's go over to Retell AI so I can show you how to get your API key. All right, so I'm in Retell AI's main interface right here. On the left side tab bar under system, you will see API keys. Go ahead and click on that. And to add a new key, you're just going to tap on the add key button in the top right corner. To tap on that, we'll tap on API key, and then we'll just give it a name. I will call this YouTube demo, just like that. I will press create. And then once you see that pop up right here, I'm going to just copy that key. We will head back into n8n and we will paste the API key just like that. Great. So the next thing that we are going to add is another header parameter. Let's go ahead and do that. So this name is going to be content dash type, just like that. And the value is going to be application slash JSON, just like that. You can copy exactly what I did and it will work for you as well. All right, guys, the next thing that we're going to do is send body. Let's go ahead and enable that. We will choose JSON, but we will specify the body using JSON rather than the defined below. Now there is going to be a couple variables that we are going to need to add right here. So I will be pasting this down below for you guys to copy. I'm just going to paste it in like that. And if I expand it for you guys, I'll give you a quick run through. So the first variable we have is the from number. This is where you want to paste the number that is connected to your Retell AI agent once you've published it, which I will go back and do in a sec if you guys don't know how to do so. The next number is going to be the to number. So this is the number we want to call. Now, usually you would simply just type in the number that you want to call. But because we are making this a dynamic automation, we want to use the Google Sheets trigger value phone number and drag that into the to number. The one thing you want to make sure is that the extension is included in the phone number and that no spaces are in between any of the numbers. So that now that I've done that, I've added the +1, I've dragged in the phone number from the Google Sheets, and then the next thing that we need to make sure is the call type is going to be a phone call, not a web call. Okay, the override agent ID. To get that, we are going to head back into Retell once more, and we will select the agent that we want to connect this automation to. In the top left corner, you will see the agent ID. Next to that is a button to copy it to clipboard. Go ahead and do that. We will return to n8n and just paste this agent ID right here, just like that. Okay, so this is where the dynamic variables come into play. So like I showed you in our Google Sheets, we set up the first name and the company name. Of course, you can add more if you'd like. You can add as many as you want. You just need to make sure that you're also adding it to this Retell LLM dynamic variable. So right here, you can see I have the first name and the company name, and these are both variables that are being dragged in from our Google Sheet. So if I delete these quickly just to show you, the company name is going to be company_name in our Google Sheet, and I'm just going to drag that right into the quotation marks. Make sure that the last variable you have in your JSON does not have a comma after it, or this node will experience an error. That is everything we need for the body. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I will actually close this because that node is good to go. All right, and then the next node we are going to add is going to be the Google Sheets node. This is going to be used to update the lead status from not called to called. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll tap on a new node. I'll search up Google Sheets like that, and we are going to choose update row in sheet right here. Go ahead and connect your credentials if you haven't already done so. Then we will choose the same sheet that we have just connected before and the same document. So the first thing, we are going to match on column. You can either do this with first name, company name, phone number, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and choose phone number, and then we will delete first name because we won't be needing to update that. We will not update the company name or the email. We will, however, update the date and time. And like I always say, if you switch this to expression and you do a double curly bracket with a $sign and type now, this is going to give you the exact date and time of right now. This is a very simple way to just get the current date and time. So let's go with that. The lead status, we are going to switch from not called to called. So I will just type in called here. And the phone number, we will have to execute the previous node to actually drag that in. So let me just go ahead and do that. I will decline the call for now so I can give you a proper demo in just a sec. Let's go ahead and drag in the number right here from the Google Sheets trigger. And now we are all set up. So I'm going to give this a save. Now the next thing to do, I know I already just ran that so I can pull in the data for the final node, and you heard my phone go off, meaning that it did work. But if it did not work, you may have to first publish your agent to the correct number. So to do that, we are back in our Retell AI agent. We are going to hit the publish button in the top right corner, and we are going to select outbound phone number. Now you're going to connect one of your Twilio numbers to the outbound phone number, and then we will click publish. If you don't know how to connect a phone number to your AI agent, I'm going to go ahead and link a video up above where I break down exactly how to do that from Twilio and connect it to your Retell AI agent. So if you haven't checked that out, I highly suggest going to do so now. If you already have your number set up, let's go ahead and publish it onto this agent. And again, very important, make sure that the number you just published onto this AI voice agent matches the same number in our JSON body under our HTTP request node under the from number. So those two have to match exactly for the automation to work. Now that we have that set up, go ahead and add some test data into your Google Sheet. So here you can see I've provided my name, a fake company, and then I added my phone number, my email address, and the lead status is not called. So the date and time, again, you can leave that as empty because the automation will update that automatically. Same with the lead status. So finally, let's go ahead and give this a test. I will head back into the automation. We will give it a proper run. I have my phone right here and I'm going to execute the workflow and you can watch it come in for yourselves. There it is. Hello.
Hey, is this Noah at Endolabs?
That's right.
Awesome. This is Marissa from Six Flow Automations. I'll be up front. This is a cold call. Do you mind if I take a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
I'm not interested, sorry.
No worries. Totally understand. Have a great day, Noah.
And there you guys have it. You have now successfully set up a n8n automation to trigger outbound calls with your Retell AI voice agent. If we head back into our Google Sheets, you will see that the date and time of that call has been added and the lead status has been switched to called. So like I said in the introduction of this video, you can use this to perform batch calling by filling out this Google Sheet with a bunch of names, company names, phone numbers, and so on, making sure that each of them, the lead status is set to not called so that the automation can switch it to called once triggered. Now the other thing you probably noticed is that it said, hey, is this Noah at NB Labs? If I head back into our Retell AI agent and I zoom into the welcome node, you will see it says, hey, is this first name at company name? So you can see that the dynamic variables successfully were pulled through, and of course you can add as many as you want throughout the conversation. This agent is sort of just a dummy agent that I use for tutorials and so on, so you guys can definitely play around with that and get more dynamic variables going. It's a very useful tool. And there you have it, guys. You have now successfully set up your n8n automation to perform outbound calls using your Retell AI voice agent. Another cool thing that may interest you is setting up a secondary automation to do some business scraping, web scraping, using Apify or Apollo or whatever you want to actually fill in the Google Sheets, which then will trigger this automation to perform the outbound calls. That is just a quick tip for you guys who are trying to sell whatever you are trying to sell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below and I will get to them as soon as possible. As always, if you find this content useful or you want to support the channel, hit that like button, drop a sub, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.